next we're going to get into the 6 that we just think stand above everything. Granted, those last 10 were all amazing albums. We're not saying anything bad against them, but these 6 are just amazing. We'll save our favorites kind of the year for last. So first is Josh Hedley's Mr. Jukebox.
So feed me nickels, feed me dimes. I'll play your favorite song just one more time. I'm right here in the corner anytime you're feeling blue. If you've got a new romance, well, I've got the perfect dance. If you need me, I'll be here. I'm Mr. Jukebox.
Yeah. Oh no. This is probably the most like traditional in terms of like 50s old style country, like
it
straight up
50s
country,
but not in a dated way.
Exactly. And his like, and really the only thing that, like I said, whenever this came out and whatever podcast was right around when it came out, I said like my only real complaint is that it's so like perfectly like 50s country that he doesn't let his voice, which is tremendous, his voice is great, he doesn't really let himself just like belt it out there at times. Like it's kind of, it just always stays in this mold. And so I'm just like, man, if he had like a Stapleton-esque song, like an Either Way, where he could just fucking throw the voice out there and show everybody what he's got, I think it would be awesome. But again, this album was tremendous. The song Mr. Jukebox, I don't remember how early it got released. It was a couple weeks before the actual album, and I swear I listened to it like fucking 30 times in those couple.
And then
weeks.
It was, as we talked about on the podcast, when we saw Bones Owens, we were out talking to him before a show, and he was talking about how people actually call him Mr. Jukebox because he knows like every country song.
Yeah, they could call something out and he would be able to play it on the spot.
Yeah, and so it's cool that, like, I remember Kevin said it, and you might have said, I know you might have said it on the podcast, but you might have just said it when we were there. He goes, oh, so I thought, so it gives more meaning to the actual song, Mr. Jukebox.
Exactly, it makes it that much cooler of a song.
Yeah. But yeah, so Josh Hedley, Mr. Jukebox, fantastic.
Absolutely.
Next is, oh shit, I don't have the album name written down. It's Culberson County, I think. Red Shahan, Culberson County.
Yeah, it's Culberson County. Yep.
Shipwreck on the mountain, rubbernecking all the outlaws. It's who we wanna be. Belly up and just fake it, and two-step over 80, so we can hope to be someone someday.
Yeah, this album, I remember when it came out, I said this, and I say it again. Like, I love Men and Coyotes. I thought that was a fantastic album, but this one is so much more country. Like, the first one was very bluesy sounding, and this one is just a very country album, and I love it more for that.
Yeah,
like,
it still has the elements of Men and Coyotes in, like, certain songs, like the song Revolution is, like, very kind of rockin', you know, blues type of feel to it. But I agree, it definitely has a more of a country overtone, and I like it a lot. I actually bought this album because he has these really badass hats, and I wanted one, and you could buy the hat and pre-order the album, and I was like, absolutely.
Yeah.
So I did, and it was worth it because this album's great.
Yeah, this is one that every time, actually, like, my daily mix is pretty much all these artists that we're talking about. Like, I'll have one of my daily mixes be that, and almost always Red Shahan is on there, and it's always just...
Yeah, I've had this album in my car like ever since it came out, just as like when I don't feel like plugging my phone in and setting up Spotify, I'll just flip it to the CD and let it play. Yeah. And so I've been I don't know how many times I've listened to it.
Nice. Oh shit. Computer turning off.
Oh no.
Don't skip. When my screen goes black, I found out that's when it skips, so I got to keep my screen on. Anyway.
That's racist.
You're racist.
Oh!
Next is American Aquarium, Things Change.
I'm headed out to Oklahoma, out with the dust and the wind. I got a funny feeling, baby, that we're gonna fit right in. Out there in
as we talked about B.J. Baum and American Aquarium on the episode about him, but I think that was before the album came out, I believe.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was.
Because this CD came out like 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
This album is just better than their others. Like, it's just so good.
Yeah,
like,
I agree. I feel like, especially for me, who I'm not as familiar with a lot of the older American Aquarium like you are.
Yeah, like his first three CDs,
really
I didn't really know them that well until listening to the or getting ready for the podcast. Like, it was his like three more more recent CDs that I knew. So yeah, it was the older ones I didn't know as well, but yeah.
Exactly. And so for me, not really knowing a lot of the older stuff as much, I kind of felt like he had so many songs that I liked, but they're all kind of like scattered through different albums.
Yeah.
And then this one, I'm like, start to finish, I really liked it. So I was like, I feel like on some of the older albums, there were a lot of really high highs, but then some songs that I just didn't listen to or getting into for whatever reason.
Yeah.
And then this one, I'm like, start to finish, I love it.
Yeah. Wait, you want to talk into the mic, Augie? Say hi. My puppy's saying hi. Hello. But yeah, I just like this song. I love. Yes, I see you. I love the album, or the song like "Tough Folks Do," where it's kind of the Trace Adkins, "Tough People Do" type thing of like tough times don't laugh, but tough folks do. And I like. Even though they get political on the album, it's not like a fuck Trump and liberalism is the best. It's like just kind of this, like, because the way he words it, he just goes like, last November I saw what desperation makes good folks do or whatever. It's like something along those lines.
Yeah.
Where it's not like these people who voted for Trump are evil people. It's just like they needed something new and they just took the dive for it. And he's not like blaming them for like where America's at or anything like that. It's not like this. Yeah, like fuck conservatives type song. It's just like he states his feelings, but it's not in like a negative way kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I really enjoyed that about it because, I don't care about politics or whatever, but yeah, I just thought that was cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
Next is Asher McBryde's Girl Going Nowhere.
We've all got a number that we don't want to drunk dial, and a good friend we ain't seen in a while. And a slow dance left in these boots, and a chance at putting down new roots. Here's to the breakups that didn't break us, the breakdown wrong turn that takes you to a little dive bar in Dahlonega. Hear a song from a band that saves you, man. It's a hitting rock bottom. Smoke 'em if you got 'em. Nothing's going right. Making the best of the worst day kind of night.
Just like that song alone, Girl Going Nowhere, makes this album like one of my favorite years, because that song I actually watched her perform it on the Opry when she like started crying while singing it, and that hit me so hard. I was just like, that is an amazing like thing.
Yeah, I think this album really is just fucking great.
Yeah.
And I love that song, but honestly, the song Dive Bar in Dahlonega is many times I've listened to, but I definitely feel like that's a top 10 listen of the year for me so far.
Yeah.
I just absolutely love it, and her sound is great. The album's just good. It's just good.
And I think we talked about it when we did that episode, but like I liked it that it was. She had like a classic but contemporary sound where it sounded like what the radio sounded like in the late 90s, early 2000s.
Yes.
It's not like a traditional in the sense of like, oh, this song could have come out in the 80s. Like it was a newer but still country sound.
Yes. It was the way that I feel if you're going to update and modernize things but not abandoning your roots.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and so this album was fantastic.
Yeah, absolutely.
Next is probably or do you want to do your lead or my lead for?
Doesn't matter to me.
All right, we'll do.
Go for it. You already started saying it for yours.
Yeah. All right. So my kind of favorite of the year, the one that I've gone back to probably the most, is Randall King's self-titled.
Well, she's always right. I'm always wrong. I should be mad, but it turns me on when she's tugging on my heartstrings. I don't like change, but she don't care. I'm don't fight fair. I hate I like it, but man, I swear she's tugging on my heartstrings. Yes, she is.
It is. He's just like we said before. I know we've said it in person. I don't know if we said it on the podcast. He's like George Strait reincarnated, even though George Strait's not dead.
Exactly. George Strait has not died, but a piece of him has splintered off and become a younger guy somehow.
Yeah, and even like Garth Brooks has been singing his praise, and I'm pretty sure Randall King is doing a song on Garth Brooks' new album. And it's just so good. Like, it's just so traditional. He sings like George Strait, but the sound, it's like, not that the music like sounds exactly like, oh, this is what George Strait would sing. It's like his voice sounds that way, but the sound is still his own. Yeah,
and this one is tremendous. I definitely would put it in like top 3 of the year for me for sure so far, because it is tremendous. And I remember when it first came out, it was one that I listened through all the way, and then was just like, yeah, we're going right back to the beginning, and we're going right through it again, because I loved it.
Yeah. So that one is fantastic, and he only has, 2 EPs out or something?
Yeah, he doesn't have that much, because he opened for, I don't know if I've said this on the podcast, but he opened for Cody Johnson when I saw him a year and however long ago in Iowa City, and I saw him, and when I was seen him
in the podcast, you saw him.
Yeah, exactly, and so I didn't know who he was at all, but then I saw him, and I was like, oh, this guy's really good live, and then I went to Spotify, didn't have much music, and so then when this came out, I'm like, oh, perfect, that dude that I liked, but I kind of forgot about, and now he's great, so cool.
Yeah. And then number 1 is, though it's not
my
really,
number 1.
Yeah, Kevin's favorite so far.
Yeah,
of the year.
my favorite of the year so far is Nathaniel Rateliff's "Tearing at the Seams."
This ain't a getaway. You build walls around your heart to try to lock it in. I'm gonna leave it all out there to dry. I'm gonna leave it all out there. I'm gonna leave it all out there to dry. Oh, I'm gonna leave it all out there.
It is not country, so sorry for everyone I have misled.
Maybe we shouldn't have saved this one for last. But.
Too bad. They're the best. I love them. No, I really like them. They're this Americana jam bandy kind of indie rock deal, and I really like them. I've seen them live before, and they're great. I really like this album because I really like the incorporation of horns, and they just have a really unique style. And if you don't like them, that's fine, but I do. So yeah, deal with it.
I don't care for. I think he's talented as shit, but I've just never. It's never been my sound. It was like the opener for John Moreland. Wasn't my sound.
You're a sound.
Dude was talented
bitch.
as shit, but it wasn't
bitch,
my kind of.
Bitch.
Yeah.
Bitch.
So yeah, that's 16 of the 127 albums that we think are amazing that came out this year. So.
And next we shall discuss in depth the other 111.
Oh my god.
Strap in, folks.
Yeah, we're gonna
all night.
We're gonna do a 4-hour podcast. Ugh. Yeah, but anyways, so if you have any albums that you thought were better, let us know, and we'll say we'd like that one too.
Yeah.
Unless it's like, I'm trying to think what shitty artist had an album come out. I don't know. It's
17
like
Memphis.
Shitty. Oh my god.
Never forget.
Oh my god.
Never forget. If you're having a really great Independence Day extended weekend and you're like, this is too good, I gotta knock it down a couple pegs, fire up some 17 Memphis and prepare to have your eardrums ruptured from terribleness.